Today we are back in Marble Falls, Texas, right outside of Austin. It is a beautiful day. It's morning right now, and we are back at Missing Hotel. If you haven't seen last week's video, we were here and we toured their rain unit, which was a 280 square foot tiny house. Really cool spot. And this week we're touring their other tiny house, which is the Yoku. And the floor plan is very similar, but just the design and the way everything looks is totally different. So it's gonna be fun seeing what last week's video is like compared to this one with such a similar floor plan. So I learned that the hosts have traveled the world and they got inspired from their designs of their tiny houses from wherever they stayed at. So last week it was a Mexican casita style with a Santorini inspired archway in the middle. Well, this week is the Yoku, which is definitely Japanese inspired. So whenever you pull up on the property, Missing Hotel is a 100-acre property, tons of room to explore. There's trails to hike around everywhere that they've implemented, and the trees and the rocks is just so beautiful. There's a lot more to the property that we'll get to in the end of this video, but whenever you pull up and find your tiny house, you'll follow the signs to find it. You'll park and you'll walk down the stone walkway, and here is your tiny house cabin. The wood exterior is definitely that Japanese inspired design with the wood cladding and the burning method that preserves the wood. It just looks amazing, and I love the stone path, and then the red door right here in the middle. It's all tucked in these trees, and it just looks like a good, nice little cabin. So now let's check out the inside and see how they designed this one. So whenever you walk inside, you'll see that the layout is basically the exact same as last week's video. A little bit different, but the design is totally different. The opening over here on the right is your living / bedroom space. You got the bed right here in the middle, and then right across from that, you can't ignore these French doors, floor to ceiling. They are huge and they're metal. I love the locking and unlocking method. It's all metal and clinky. And you can open up these doors and let the breeze in, and you can see the beautiful nature. You're tucked up on a perch up here actually, and you can see for miles and miles out that way. And having, let me go take care of that bird. And heading back inside, you have nightstands on each side. They used these old vintage suitcases as nightstands, and an AC unit in here as well. The AC unit does phenomenal. There's been record-setting heat temperatures. It's been like 105 while I'm staying here. But this AC unit kills it. It keeps it nice and crispy cold in here, unless you open up all the doors and let the breeze in. But anyway, also one of my favorite things in this room are the skylights up here. So this roof comes to a pitch, and they have skylights on both sides, and it just lets in a lot of great natural light, especially since it's always sunny in Texas. I love how they implemented the windows and the design of it all. And now the other half of this tiny house, this is a very small footprint. I believe it's around 280-ish square feet of living space. The kitchenette is on this right side. This one's a little bit different than last week's video. It's a little bit smaller actually. So you got the bar seating right under these windows. This huge window lets you look out into your patio space with your plunge pool, which is really cool. And there's a lot of stuff they leave on this little bar set. Some snacks for you, a welcome book, and just a few other little things I'll let you see whenever you get here. And then the actual kitchenette part. Countertop is cement. You have a small sink over here on this right side. The cabinets underneath, this is also where your mini fridge is at. And then you just have a few floating shelves with your bare necessities like a microwave and a couple cups, plates, bowls, and utensils, and that's really about it. So everything you need for a couple nights stay. You're not going to be cooking any big meals unless you use the fire pit outside to cook up some meats. So now heading back around through this door is your bathroom space. It's divided into two sections. This first section is where your composting toilet is and your vanity with this huge mirror right here, and they leave all the towels here for you. And it's pretty spacious in here, and it even gets more spacious through this other walkway is your actual shower. The shower is huge. There's tiling everywhere on the floor. You even have this little shelf on the wall, which is nice, and then your waterfall shower head right on this side. And then there's a door actually on the other side. This lets in some light, and this is just another way to exit this tiny house if you want to get out onto the deck space. So beautiful shower space, spacious bathroom, and that is basically everything on the inside. Let's walk outside these double French doors and see what your exterior has to offer. Whenever you walk out here, this is your patio space, and the floor plan for this is bigger than what your tiny house is. And out here is beautiful. You can overlook the views that you have and the terrain. Like I said, you're up on the perch over here so you can see for a long ways. And over here on this left side, there is an outdoor seating area right underneath these windows from where your kitchenette was. And then we can step down into your plunge pool area. Down here right in the middle is a stock tank that got converted into a plunge pool, and it is the perfect thing to use to cool off during these hot days. And it's just big enough to enjoy, and it's easy to take care of, and I'm sure it wasn't hard to make, so this is a really good idea. It's just a converted stock tank, and it's amazing, and it looks great right here in the middle. And then on these other sides you have these hanging chairs, and they're really comfortable. And we can just take a look back at the tiny house, the windows, the wood, the overhang. There's string lights here. It all just looks incredible. So now let's walk down these stairs, and over here you have your fire pit area, and the terrain here is beautiful. These rocks, it looks like right here is where water would be flowing. It just looks like a stream that's going down the mountain that you're on basically, but there's no water now, and you can just see all the exposed rocks. It looks incredible. But that just leads me now to the rest of the property. Like I said, there's 100 acres here to explore. Hiking trails, I hiked this one, and this is the viewpoint trail. If you hike it, you go all the way on the top of their property, and you get a good lookout from all of the land down below, and it's just beautiful. There's also another hiking trail that leads down to the cows at the bottom, their little pasture area, and you can feed them, which is really cool. They're like giant dogs. None of them are out today, can't find them. No treats for them. Later on, I had the host come down and bring them out so we could feed them. And he's incredibly nice. It was awesome meeting the host, and we fed the cows, which was really fun. Hello. Oh. You are adorable.
They're cakes.
Oh.
They're kind of like a protein vitamin.
And then there's some yard games. There's a labyrinth over here. There's another trail that's called the Mystic Forest, where it's more forested, and this is just a beautiful property. There's lots to do here. You will not be bored while you're staying here for your weekend getaway or anything like that. So that is the Yoku tiny house. What do you think of it compared to last week's video? Which one's your favorite? Let me know down in the comments below. I think my favorite out of the two is definitely this one. Just the way it looks, those French doors, and the way the plunge pool is situated. I think this is a really cool tiny house. So if you want to stay here or any of the other properties on here, the link is down below to book this place, Missing Hotel. So thank you guys for watching this video. I will see you in next week's video.